Hi, I'm Brad Smart, and the title of this top grading tips article is Intuition Can Save or Kill Your Hiring Success. Most hiring decisions are made intuitively in only 4 minutes, with 75% of those hires resulting in costly mishires. Those who follow top grading disciplines enjoy 80% plus excellent hires. By following top grading disciplines, top graders do trust their intuition, but only after gathering a huge amount of candidate information. Here's some background. Intuition as a basis of decision making is kind of enjoying a rebirth. If you Google intuitive decision making, up pops a Boston College press release advocating trust your gut. Or study an article by Burke and Miller, who, in an extensive research project, reported the following statistics that should scare the heck out of hiring managers. Here are three quotes. Number one, almost all respondents said that they had combined intuition with data analysis in their history of workplace decision making. Number two, 40% of professionals used intuition to make personnel or people-related decisions. Such decisions included interviewing, hiring, etc. And the third quote, little research has been done on the ultimate quality of intuitively driven decisions. We asked practitioners to rate the quality of the intuitive decisions they had made and then categorize their open-ended responses. 2/3 of the respondents felt that intuition led to better decisions. Okay, but good luck, hiring managers. Intuitive hiring is commonplace, but the article says there's no research on how well it works? Whoa. Actually, it was the McGill University studies from decades ago that showed that most managers make hiring decisions in 4 minutes and then spend the rest of the time in interviews selling the candidate on joining the company or unconsciously justifying the hiring decision they had already made intuitively. I have personally done a lot of informal research over many decades on qualitative hires and decision-making approaches, including more than 6,500 top grading interviews lasting 5+ hours. And with the average executive having had 10 jobs, that's, wow, 65,000 case studies. 65,000 times I asked, in that job, what were the methods you used to hire people and what were the results? Bottom line, the vast majority of hiring managers trusted their gut with very shallow information. Competency interviews with questions like, tell me about a time you were well organized. And 75% of the people they hired turned out to be mishires, costly mishires. Jonathan Haidt released a treatise on intuition, and it's kind of scary. His 2012 publication of The Righteous Mind takes a huge history of human thought and concludes that humans are almost totally emotional in our decisions. What? He compares emotion to an elephant that wants to go where it wants to go and goes where it wants to go. And he says that the rider on top represents rationality. And the rider sits astride the elephant, trying unsuccessfully to guide it, but the elephant goes where it wants to go. Wow. In one example, subjects in a study looked at pictures of unknown Republican and Democrat candidates for offices in faraway states. And with no more information than the photos, those respondents favored 70% of the candidates. They just picked a picture. That person, no true basis, all just intuition on the way the person looked. And 70% of the time they picked the elected candidate. Woo. So much for an informed, rational electorate. Fortunately, here's the good news. The situation for hiring managers is not hopeless. We can recognize that maybe we are very intuitive, we're very emotional, but we'll discipline ourselves. We'll follow the top grading methodology that finally puts the rider, rationality, in control of the elephant, intuition. So how do top graders beat the intuitive hiring approaches? Well, in a sense, we don't. Top graders use intuition, that unconscious deduction and extrapolation and we extrapolate from our experience and what we learn about the candidate. But most of the intuition we use is after we get the full in-depth picture of the candidate. Specifically, top graders study the candidate's top grading career history form so they get an overview of the person's entire career. Next, they look at the candidate's top grading snapshot, the multicolored picture of the candidate's total career with accurate boss ratings and full salary history and more. Then top graders conduct a tandem top grading interview, 2 interviewers using the tandem top grading interview guide. And finally, the interviewers make extensive reference calls with former managers and others, but they don't play telephone tag because the candidate arranges the calls. That's a picture of very, very thorough assessment of candidates for hire. Here's some more evidence. In the 2012 third edition of Top Grading, I have 40 case studies showing companies more than tripling their hiring success from 26% to 85% high performers hired. And how did they do it? Well, they followed the advice of all the CEOs who said at the end of each case study, and you can read this, at the end of each case study, the CEO said the company is more successful because of top grading. And their second bit of advice is don't cut corners. Stick with the top grading disciplines. As I said, you can read the advice top grading CEOs give would-be top graders, perhaps people like you, by clicking. You have to go to the article and click on www.topgradingcasestudies.com. But I translate that into intuition's okay. You got to follow the disciplines to make intuition the servant of rationality. So, last time, in summary, follow the advice of managers achieving 85% hiring success, and you will use your valuable intuition, but you use it the right way after you've gathered a huge amount of information about how the candidate has performed, including all their successes and failures and key decisions and key relationships. So I hope this has been helpful to you. Until next time, top grade your team and you will top grade your profits.